What's going on, Bills fans? This is Bills Latest. We are brought to you by FanArc, and let's talk about James Cook. Is he going to be able to produce what he produced last year as far as being the league's leading rusher? It's going to be hard. I was looking back. It's crazy how often it used to happen, like pre-80s. Pre-80s, it was almost a shoo-in. The last guy to do it was Henry. I believe it was 2019, 2020. It doesn't happen often anymore, folks. And a lot of it has to do with teams typically run with multiple running backs nowadays, and the workload isn't quite the same. But also, these guys just Cook had about 100 more carries than he did the previous year last year. Your body takes a beating, man. Your body takes a beating. So it's going to be very hard for his production level to stay that high. And that's where I think Ray Davis is going to have himself a decent little year. As far as if I'm picking a fantasy running back, James Cook, I think, is still going to get his touchdowns. I just don't think the yards are going to be there. I don't think he's going to have as many carries, and he really shouldn't. He really shouldn't. Give the ball to Ray Davis a little bit. Ray Davis, when he gets the ball, he's a stud. So if you can take a little bit of that workload off of Cook with Davis, that's huge. That's huge. That's just going to help Cook come playoff time. Both those running backs. Because if you have a good tandem, man, then you're really never tired at that position. You're constantly just swapping them out. Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery, when they're going, they're going. I would love to see that in Buffalo with Cook and Ray Davis. I think they could be a good little two-headed monster. But Cook also is that kind of running back where the more he touches the football, the more he gets going. So if he doesn't get as many touches, does his production slip? We'll find out. I think regardless, you're in the red zone, Cook has got a nose for the end zone, man. He's going to find the end zone. So I just think it's going to be very hard for Cook to have the same production as far as yards this coming year. But I think touchdowns could be on par. Maybe one or two short. It's going to be close. Because he just pounds it once he gets into that red zone. But I think Davis is going to take some of the workload off of his shoulders a little bit. And that's honestly how it should be. We're paying him a lot of money. The best ability is availability. And we used the hell out of him last year. So that's why I think you got to kind of try to not save him, but use him smart this year. And that's where I'm kind of wondering, what is Joe Brady's offense going to look like? Are they going to be able to repeat another 28 points per? Because that's tough. That's tough to do. And a lot of that was Cook. Because when you can run the football, you're dominating time of possession. Who remembers the Steelers game from last year when they just ran the same fucking play over and over and over and over? TJ Watt, in his post-game interview, I've never seen a more defeated Watt. Has anybody ever seen a defeated Watt before? TJ was absolutely deflated. Like one of them big arm squiggly things that are just in the air at car dealerships. Fan off. Dead. TJ Watt. Steelers. A hard-nosed football team. Got destroyed by the same play over and over and over and over and over. Which I love. If something's working, fucking run it. But I think things got to change a little bit. And I think they will change with the addition of Moore and Bell with this offense. I think we're going to see a little bit different schematics. Nothing crazy, But I think we're going to see Josh throwing the ball a little bit more, whether that's good or bad. It's only ever bad when Josh throws if he's forcing it and he's trying to win the game. And personally, how the hell are you going to blame the guy when the game is on the line and you're just trying to make a play? The boneheaded plays, sure, we can knock them on. But when you're trying to make a game-winning drive and you're trying to do something special, shit's going to happen. It's just the way it is. But Joe Brady, man, things are going to change, I think. We're going to see, and I hope, more than just outs. Wide receiver screens, dink and dunks, quick slants. I hope we see more. I'd like to see a little bit more motion. I'd like to see a little bit more deep ball. And I would love to see a wide receiver win a one-on-one when Josh is scrambling. And I think with the addition of Moore and Bell, it might be possible. Shakir can do it 50-50, but he's been proven. Shakir is honestly the only really reliable guy we have. We're assuming DJ Moore is going to fit in nicely, and hopefully he does. But we know Shakir fits in nicely. We know the tight ends fit in nicely. We know Cook pounds the ball. We did lose our fullback, but we also brought one in from Wisconsin. We'll see. They need to change it up because I think if they come out with the same shit, defenses have seen it. Teams have seen it. They'll be ready for it. And as soon as it looks like you can just cover DJ Moore with one guy, expect every defense to sell out for the run. Just expect it. And that's where Bell, Moore, they have to take this team to the next level. Moore has to be able to win his one-on-ones. Bell has to be able to contribute. And we're going to find out. We'll find out we'll see a little bit of it come training camp when they're starting to actually practice. If they're really, they usually don't go through everything there. They save the good stuff for in-house. But I think Brady's going to have, it's like he does, but he doesn't. He has a little bit more tools in his chest. I think the real addition, I don't even know if it's more. I think it might be Bell more than DJ Moore. I don't know how it happened. I'm becoming a huge Bell guy, huge Skylar Bell guy. Although he played at Connecticut with far, far inferior talent. But still a stud. Still a stud. And speaking of Bell, I think he outperforms Coleman this year. I think Coleman, if he finishes the year as a Buffalo Bill, this is his last year as a Buffalo Bill. I think Skylar Bell is going to run circles around this guy. Skylar Bell's routes are crisp. They are crisp. And if he can translate that to the next level, that's how you get open at wide receiver. Everybody's fast. But if you can run a better route, that's how you create the separation. Every once in a while, you'll see a guy go straight down the field and just beat a DB. But that actually doesn't happen as often as you think. It's on these little hitch and goes. It's on these other routes where these wide receivers can really get the separation. And that's where Coleman struggles. Absolutely struggles. And he refuses to use his big body to go up and catch balls. He waits for the ball to get to him, never is the aggressor. And I think Bell's coming in with a little chip on his shoulder. Because there's definitely chatter that a UConn wide receiver should not have gone in the 4th round. By the way, which is the second highest Brandon Bean wide receiver pick of all time. Keon Coleman was his highest. but that's it. So it seems like Bean has kind of said, well, if I'm going to take a risk on a wide receiver, it'll be in the 4th round. So if I screw up, I don't pay him a lot. Don't hate it. If you know you're not good at it, don't hate it one bit. But I think you might have hit on Skylar Bell. And that's where I think this guy I think he outperforms Coleman. And it's going to be hard for Coleman because it's going to be Bell, Coleman, and Palmer fighting for that 3rd spot. I don't see how Coleman fits in at all. I truly don't, other than the fact he's a big body. However, like I just said, he refuses to use it. So we're going to find out, but I think Skylar Bell is your guy. And I'm willing to bet Skylar Bell will have the better year over Keon Coleman. He'll have more receptions, more touchdowns. He'll have more effect on the game. You're going to see him probably in the punt return possibly as well. So I'm just going Skylar Bell over Keon Coleman. I just think he's going to have a better year. I'd be surprised if Coleman is on this team throughout the whole year, if not traded halfway through the year. So we'll find out. Bills fans, let me know in the comment section below. Who do you think will have a better year? Skylar Bell, Keon Coleman? Feel free to rip me. But I think it's Skylar Bell. But that has been it for today's Bills Latest, folks. Again, we are brought to you by FanArc. We appreciate y'all watching and listening. If you could and would, hit that like and subscribe button down below. It helps us out tremendously. We're trying to get to 100 subs as soon as possible, and every like and sub obviously helps us. And again, thank you, folks. We'll be back tomorrow.